We did a countdown yet? Okay. Hello, everybody. This is Recie Myers coming to you live from Recie's Domain. And
I'm Roland.
Yes, every day, Monday through Friday, we just come to you and share a nugget of what we have been learning. Now, I'm just going to tell you just a little bit about what I had planned on telling you, but I only gave a small little nugget or two. But then at the end, Roland and I are going to share some exciting facts with you. Anyway, we've been talking about chapter 2. This is part 3. What Robert Kiyosaki had been saying. You remember, if you remember yesterday, I said he went to his rich dad to tell him a little bit about his real dad and why he was having all these problems. Well, Robert said that no one quadrant is more important than the other. And he says if you want to be successful in any quadrant, you have to know more than just technical skills. You need to know more than that. You need to know the core differences that cause people to change from one quadrant to the next. He also says that changing one quadrant to the next is not as easy as changing professions or changing jobs. You have to think of your core, at your core, the way you think, the way you view the world. He says that you are never too old to change quadrants. And it's not the changes. He says that people react differently to change. And that is so true. He says some people welcome change, and that's hard. Change, no matter what kind of change, it's always hard because you have to adjust. But he says some people welcome change and work through it, whereas some people resist or fight it. If you fight it, you just make life more challenging, more difficult for you. He says, Robert says that the experience, he equates it to that of like metamorphosis, how a caterpillar changes into a butterfly, because all the relationships that you have, as you are going through this change, you no longer think a certain way because your thinking has changed, the way you view the world has changed, and it's as if you're flying because you're doing something different. So it affects your relationships with your friends because you no longer are a caterpillar crawling around doing those kinds of things. You are doing other things. So in that sense, welcome it, because you kind of push through the challenges to become to function on a different level. Okay, and we said no one quadrant is more important than the other, because in a healthy community needs to be made up of people in all 4 quadrants.
And another thing too, the butterfly can no longer go back to the caterpillar. So once you change, it's very difficult to go back to what you were if it was a true change.
Right, and see, some people get a little nervous about the change, and like going back, it just makes life very difficult. They just, it's hard to move forward if you keep going back to the same thinking, the same way of life. You have to fully embrace it. Now, we were just talking about that, but now I'm going to shift gears a little bit and tell you about our class, our Bitcoin and Gold Bootcamp that started 2 weeks ago. Yesterday was our second session, but I wanted to bring you some very valuable information about the class and why you might want to consider taking this class. All right. Let me just tell you something right here. Hold on, I have a few little notes here. Gold and Bitcoin's Bootcamp class is a free 6 weeks course that teaches you about saving in gold and in cryptocurrency. Roland's going to tell you why you ought to save in gold. Roland?
Save in gold. Well, first of all, gold is a currency that constantly appreciates and appreciates in value without you doing anything to it. In other words, it's the gift that keeps on giving. And I'm just going to give you some stats here. From October the 1st, from October 6th to October 16th, 1 gram of gold increased 1.75%. From January 1st to October 16th, 1 gram of gold increased 13.14%.
That's just in how many months? 10 months?
10 months.
1 gram of gold increased in its value without you doing anything to it. Just having the gold sitting in your account, it increased in its value. Was it 13.14%? Can you put some money in the bank and it's just not doing anything to it? It's going to increase in value.
That's some really high interest for
Yeah,
that.
chances are the bank is going to charge you just for storing your money there, and it's going to be depleted in terms of its value. You're not going to have the same amount. All right, anything else?
Yeah, from 2007 to 2017.
That's about 10 years, right?
Yeah, 10 years, 1 gram of gold increased 59.61%.
More than half.
Yeah, so you need to get yourself a free gold account. Okay, you can't find any good rates like that at the bank. The bank is just good for holding your money.
But they don't hold it free of charge.
Right.
They don't hold your money in the bank without charging you. Whereas having a free gold savings account, it's free. You're not being charged any interest or anything, and your currency, just by sitting there, it appreciates.
The more I learn about gold, the more I'm sold on it. It's the way to go. I think everybody ought to go that way.
And again, here is another example of allowing your assets to work for you, where you don't necessarily have to do anything. Of course, if you want to deal in trading and with stocks, that's another story. But just for having the account, just having your gold sitting in the account, and it also teaches you how to save. Because some people, no matter, they put money in the bank, and every time
motivated to save for those kind of returns.
That's right. So I would encourage you, if you want to be able to start eliminating your debt, you need to open your free gold savings account. And of course, tomorrow I'll bring a little nugget to you about the cryptocurrency. But if you're catching the replay, make sure you tell me, number one, where you're tuning in from. Number two, let me know that you're interested in getting your free gold account today. Because every day that you delay, hey, that is appreciation that could have been yours. And you just miss out on it. But it's never too late to start. The sooner you start, you want to accumulate or acquire as much gold as you can now, because studies have shown that within the next 5 years, 1 ounce of gold is going to be valued. What was the value? $60,000 or above. So you want to build your asset, your real estate, because gold is real estate. You want to build your assets and start now.
And then no matter if the economy crashes, it'll still be worth that.
That's right. That's right. That's a way to protect yourself against inflation, against the downturns in the economy, so that you can withstand or weather the storms, because we know it's coming. It is coming. So the sooner that you take action to protect yourself and also to help build a legacy for your family, start now. So we thank you for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow, where we're going to bring another tip or two. And again, if you're catching the replay, share this out, because even if you can't take advantage of it, someone that you know is looking for a way that they can eliminate debt and be able to live free. I mean, truly free. All right. Thank you for joining us.
This is America. Any and everything is possible. Check it out.
Thank you again, and we'll see you tomorrow.